Najeea, and this is All the Feelz. And tonight I have a Nichel and Josh Waters in the building. What's up, y'all?
How you doing, love?
We are. I'm doing great. How y'all doing tonight?
We with you, so you know we are.
I love it. You know what's crazy? When I first got this together, in my mind, it was just gonna be her. And I've been following you for a while, listening to your music and all that stuff like that. And I was like, since the topic is intimacy, I would love to have both of y'all on here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both give off that vibe.
Respect, she definitely give off
She give off that vibe, that energy.
I'm trying to share this space. I'm gonna just sit right in the middle so I feel super close to both of y'all.
I love it. I'm here for it.
She's a natural, you guys. All natural.
I'm here for it. Well, y'all, this is All the Feelz. This is my podcast, and I feel so good. Everybody's here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're gonna get into it, y'all. Tonight, the topic is gonna be about intimacy. You know?
Alright.
So how do y'all feel about intimacy? Tell me. Let's get into it.
Josh, I'm gonna go ahead and let you answer first.
Yeah, okay.
You take the lead.
How do I feel about intimacy? I have a strong appreciation for intimacy, man. For me, it's like, it's a requirement before we get to other steps or anything past that. I need to know that we can even be intimacy. I think it's, for men, I think we actually have an interesting time getting to vulnerable spaces. And I think the only way to actually achieve that is by being intimate with somebody so that you can let your guards down. So I view intimacy as a requirement when you're in serious situations or spaces with it, you know?
I feel like requirement was a good word because I feel like intimacy allows you to be able to open like a deep part within yourself, like you said, vulnerability.
Yeah.
So
Vulnerability for me is 100% like what gets intimacy there. Like you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable and you have to allow yourself to be open to receive that. Yeah. In order for you to receive that intimacy, you have to be vulnerable. And so a lot of people are afraid to be vulnerable. Yeah. So when you said that like kind of struck a match for me.
Respect.
I fuck with it for sure.
For sure.
So how do you feel about intimacy?
I feel like intimacy kind of like gets you in the space where you know what's special and what's not special. You know, because I feel like you can't come across, I feel like you can't experience certain things if intimacy is not involved as far as like how you would know if something's really special or not, you know? So I feel like sometimes people try to skip over like the deepest reason of what intimacy is there for, you know?
So there is 4 types of intimacy. You got the emotional, you got the physical, and you got the spiritual, as well as the mental.
Okay.
So that's the 4.
So can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Do you have a preference? Out of the 4, is there a preference? Like which forms of intimacy are necessary for you?
Okay, he stay ready.
I like a mixture of it all. I like a mixture of it all.
You need the gumbo pot.
But I feel like at the top, I need the gumbo pot. But I feel like at the top, I feel like mental intimacy is deep. Like in order to have that and receive that, if you can like give me that mentally, that is everything for me. That's gonna take care of the rest of it.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? If the mental intimacy is there, it's gonna take care of the physical, the emotional, all of that.
Yeah.
So that's my top. That's my top for sure.
Back. I like that.
What about you, girl? So
See, I should have probably went first because I do agree. I do agree that like in order to get to every part of a person, it does have to start off mental. You know, especially like for me. For me, it's like I feel like the type of person I am, everything has to be mental. Like I like a deep conversation, a more like penetrating conversation, which causes me to, you know, get into a space where I'm thought-provoked. And once I'm thought-provoked, like
it's a wrap.
Everything. It's right there.
It's a wrap for sure. So I kind of like to kind of break down everything. So we're going to start off with emotional intimacy.
Okay.
So I feel like when it comes to emotional intimacy, a lot of people don't know how to speak on it. They don't know how to speak on it with their partner. Like if it's something that they're wanting or they're yearning for, they don't know how to speak on it with their partner. So it's like, how is it a way that you can speak on it without it coming off like demanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that part is subjective. I think it depends on the people. I think that depends on like the nature of y'all relationship. Cause as far as it being a mental thing, it's like, have we gotten to the point to where we've established how we communicate with each other? Have I made you feel comfortable enough to where you could come and disclose things to me so that we can hash it out to get to whatever step is next? And I think once we get to those parts, it's kind of easier to like penetrate or break down the barriers of the other versions, I guess, of intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I feel like that's the key for you to be comfortable.
See, yeah.
Because if you're not comfortable, how you gonna receive that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow yourself to be, number one, vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you have to allow yourself to be, number two, comfortable to receive the intimacy that you really want to receive.
Sure.
Whether it be emotionally, physically, all of that. So I agree with you 100% on that.
And open at the same time.
Open.
Yeah, so.
And that's the thing, when it comes to being open, I feel like a lot of people like are so nervous and so timid when it comes to being open, when life is really so easy going and flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about communication for me, like, and that's how things work. Communicating is the key to everything. When it comes to sex, relationships, all of that, communication is the key. That's how it's gonna work, because if you don't communicate about it, it really ain't gonna flow like it's supposed to flow, you know?
Respect. I agree with all of that. I was taking it in, but yes, I agree with all of that.
For sure. So, like I said, in order for you to have intimacy, you have to connect with somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? So have you ever been in a situation where it was a little bit of intimacy there, but there was no connection?
Yes, of course. I've definitely been in that situation before, but I will say I don't prefer it, right?
Okay.
I was raised, my pops passed when I was young, you heard me? So like, I was raised by my mother, my grandma type, we could cuss on here, right? Type shit. I was raised by my mother, my grandma, just making sure. But with that, I think the way that I handle and deal with women is naturally just a little different because I was raised by them. So my whole life I had to learn how to communicate with y'all. I had to understand emotions, and it's like, it's your time of the month. Well, what does that mean? All right, cool. Shit might be a little more heightened than it typically would be the other 3 weeks of this month. You know what I'm saying? So, I think for me, bro, it's just like I had to balance. Balance for me is everything, and just really getting an understanding of what it is that I want, so that I can effectively communicate that to people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, hope that answers that ish.
Well, I feel like I've experienced intimacy without connection, and like he said, I really don't prefer it, only because I would love to be in a space where I am vulnerable before I get to that space of intimacy and all those levels that you already mentioned, you know? I feel like when the connection is not involved in regards to me, it limits me in so many other aspects, and also it causes everything to be a little awkward, maybe depending on who the person is or whatnot. I just feel like there is no lingering connection, and I'm an artist, I'm a painter, so everything I do, it has to have a connection to it for it to bring out the most in me. So, yes, I've experienced it before.
But that can be dangerous though.
100%. Finish that, actually.
That can be dangerous as hell. Like to have all that together, I've experienced that. And it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game. I'm gonna say this. It is a dangerous game, but I think that because I understand that, I don't like how I feel when I am not connected to somebody, so it makes me more limited to certain people, like more particular of the people that I am coming across.
Right.
You know, so go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just gonna piggyback off what you're saying. Thank you for putting me back on the rail,
No
actually.
problem.
But so as far as me bringing up all the other stuff I was bringing up, as an artist, I come in contact with so many different people, right? And for me, it's a requirement, I'm gonna go back to that word, for me to have some type of connection with you if you want this to be good. If you want this experience to be worth something, I can only guarantee you that level of satisfaction if I care enough to submit to what we're experiencing in this moment, right? So I've had instances where it's like tonight's a lit night, anything can happen, whatever. But outside of that, which is what I would call the surface level, it's important for me to have some type of connection, or else it's just like
It's just like
this could go any way type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that 100%.
I got a question for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as you and your artistry.
Yeah.
Is it hard? Okay, so just tell me if I'm wrong or right. In your experience of being like a musician or whatnot, you have a lot of people that are attracted to you, correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Is it hard for you to connect with people as far as trust goes? Because I feel like trust is a form of intimacy as well.
Yeah.
Is it difficult or
Nah.
in particular?
So I won't say it's hard, and shout out to God, right? So I got this strong sense of discernment, and I'm seasoned enough or experienced enough to be able to identify with like, this doesn't feel like some shit I would involve myself with.
Right.
So regardless of what you look like, I'm wise enough to be able to be like, I don't have to do this
Right.
type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Because before, past the hello, this shit did not make me feel like this was something I needed to involve myself with.
Right.
And I usually listen to that voice, listen to that feeling, that frequency. So, nah, it ain't hard.
I read this book called Don't Believe Everything You Think, and they talk about the difference between your thoughts and your thinking.
See,
So thoughts is pretty much your first thought is always your intuition, right? And your thinking goes into like having the anxiety because you're overthinking about your thought. So my question is,
See.
in regards to your experience, do you always go with your first thought?
I wouldn't say that. Sometimes my first thought, no, to answer your question. No, I don't always go with my first thought. Sometimes I can be the furthest thing from right, but shout out to the team that I have around me. They usually can peep shit before I can, and even when I'm like a little misguided with the decision that I may want to make, I got the right folks around me to ensure that it's calculated enough to make the right one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
So since we on the topic of emotion, I have a question. And I feel like it's a good ass question. You know? So my question is, do some women, like as far as them showing their emotion, is that a turn off to you? Like showing too much emotion, is that a turn off to you?
Too much emotion. So at first I'm like, nah, then you put the too much emotion. Too much, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, who am I to say what's too much? I need you to be yourself and let me decide if this is too much for me, or because what I might deem as too much may be like perfect for some other nigga, or may not be enough for some other dude, you know what I mean? So I encourage people to like show up as who you are so that I can make a sound decision for myself, and I'm gonna show up as who I am so that you can do the same. But nah, I think I deal with emotion pretty well, and I can identify with emotion versus like logic, you know what I'm saying? She's acting out of emotion versus she's talking to me from her higher self or from her heart or whatever the case may be. But that go back to discernment for me. Typically, I kind of like can tell the difference, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope that answers it.
Yeah, it does. But I just feel like I've been in a situation before where, and the type of person that I am, I give so much of myself. And I feel like that messed me up with people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of messes up relationships, a lot of things. And my thing is, if I'm dealing with you and I'm rocking with you and I'm getting to know you, I'm going to give myself to you. I'm going to give you my whole self. Why would I have self? And so a lot of my friends would tell me, Gia, you give too much of yourself. Like, you should not give your full self to somebody. And I'm like, well, if I don't, how would they know the real me?
I agree with that. So I'll ask you this. My bad, you have to
You
eat
got
about
it?
No, you got it.
No.
I promise you do. Ladies first.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is, I do agree with that. I've agreed with that for quite some time until I realized, as far as my experience goes, that I get the least of a person when I'm the most emotional. So I think that
Absolutely.
I still think that that goes into what you were saying about being who you are and being yourself. Well, my thing is, I think in my experience, I know exactly who I am and I know how far I can go as far as my emotion goes. And because I know that, it's like if I'm dating somebody or if someone is interested in me, I go through in my head the interviewing process before you get the experience of who I truly am, because I am a painter and I do work with a certain level of people. So that emotion and vulnerability is on a whole nother level. And I feel like by the interviewing process for me, like the dates and whatever, it just shows like if that part of me is worth coming out or not, you know. Not saying that I'm being fake, because I'm not being fake. It's both. I'm all around who I am, but it's just levels for me.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah.
I actually dig that, right? So I view that as, I got a partner of mine, he's like, this nigga do the 90-day rule shit.
What?
You know what
Like
I'm saying?
for real?
He really do the 90-day rule shit. In that 90 days, I guess he's doing that interview process as well, trying to figure it out. But I actually agree with both points though. I think it depends on what the intention is. It's like, we grown. So we know, are we just trying to fuck tonight? Am I trying to turn this person into my partner? Because I think those two things come with different sets of preliminary precautions. You understand what I'm saying? Because if the objective is to fuck you tonight or have sex with you tonight, respectfully, then I really don't have time to get to know your mom's name or what kind of dog you got, and I can't even pretend to you like I care about those types of things. So when it's that type of scenario, I think the setup is a bit different, because we don't really have the time for you to just pick a version of yourself, I guess, that you want to present for me that's suitable for that type of ending. And then if I'm trying to turn you into my partner, or I guess I should have swapped those, I think that's more conducive, because it's like I get time to see who you are, what you're really about. Because I think with men, we gotta show y'all, right? So I think your take on it in a long-term space makes the most sense, because now it's based on my action. My action is gonna show you everything that you're trying to see. But
that's it.
It's niggas out there that manipulate motherfuckers so good that we can like draw that out and just, you know what I mean? So here's what I'm saying. I actually, in those cases, I'm such a discerning type of dude. I need women like you to show up on day one exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, you don't have the waist and all that other shit. It's like me neither. So like, how about we just skip the other shit and just get right into this type of thing. And I think from discernment, from my conversation, my intellect or lack thereof, you'll start to get the answers to the questions that you had like set up for this 90-day shit.
But can like a person really truly manipulate you if you pay attention to the constant signs that you see on a daily basis with people?
I think so. I got a friend that's so damn good at manipulating that is, but not even intentionally though. So let's take away the negative connotation from manipulating.
Okay.
Sometimes people manipulate to survive.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So like, let's take away like manipulate, the negative aspect of it. Sometimes we manipulate just to protect ourselves. It's a defense mechanism until we figure out what it is that we showed up for.
Right.
So I think all of those things are just subjective. This isn't me disagreeing with your point either. I want to make that clear. This is just an add-on, I guess.
So do you feel like when you giving yourself to somebody, there's a limit that you should give somebody?
I think it's subjective. I think it depends on the intention. If I'm giving to you for this night, are you in town for 2 nights? I'm giving to you for these 48 hours. I think it depends on what the objective is here. It's like, damn, I've been watching you for the past 3 months. So now I'm thinking about how can I get into something serious with you? Or how can I take it past like a club setting so that I can figure out what she really likes to decide if it's something I want to take further. So I think it just all depends on like setting and intention. Like what do we really want out of this? You know what I'm saying?
But for men, like, does it not start off sexual every time?
You ask me that one more time?
For men, does it not automatically start off sexual?
That's subjective. I can't speak for all men, but it doesn't start off sexual for me. I'm a dude that women chase after. Hold on.
Okay.
Not chase. Not chase.
No cocky-tocky.
But I'm a guy though. I'm a guy who has to turn down sex.
Right.
So you know how women are usually the ones at the gas station and it's like you gotta worry about a nigga always trying to talk to you. In my artist world, not in my everyday life, right?
Yeah.
I ain't find out I was apparently sexy to women till like 2 months ago. I'm like, me?
Sure.
Cool. So, but I'm a guy who like never had an issue in that department.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like it get annoying. What you want? What you here for? You want some? All right. Fuck.
So because of all of your options, then you have that mode where you're like, oh, I may want something serious.
I mean, I was just saying that to say that I guess I kind of feel the same way that you do. Like, not all guys are like on that type of hunt. I'm not, per se. I'm actually more interested in on what's on the inside of you. I've involved myself, not even physically, I've involved myself with enough women and people in general to experience to be able to say, You're wasting my time.
Right.
And it's not your fault, you know what I'm saying? But I'm cool, have a blessed day, respect. Type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's subjective. Some niggas, some not, so yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get on the topic of the mental intimacy.
Yes, ma'am.
So you know when I told you, I was like, I kind of like a mixture of all of it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
like the mental, I like all of it, the physical, all of it. But mental for me, if you can mentally stimulate me,
Yeah.
you doing something. You got something going on, baby. You know?
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? You got something going on. I feel like for you to receive that mental intimacy, you got to be open-minded.
100%.
I feel like a lot of people are not open-minded.
Agreed. And I say this for the niggas in here, right? Niggas have a problem expressing their emotions, right? It's not normalized for us to like talk about what we feel. That's not what we sit around and do. We sit around and shoot shit about shit that don't equate or matter at all. You know what I'm saying? And typically what happens is most niggas be so, put this into perspective. The same way y'all get hurt, so do we, right? But when we were little kids, they handed y'all a novel and a Barbie doll and said, find your true love. They handed me and all my niggas either a baseball, basketball, or football and said, hey, suck that shit up, nigga. So it's like, as far as expressing our emotions, we gotta feel safe enough with y'all to where we can like, you know what? I feel comfortable disclosing this information with you. Whereas nowhere else in the world, I feel like I can do that. Not with my partners, not with the women that don't necessarily have my best interest at heart. So it's like, what type of space are you creating for men to feel comfortable enough to do what's not necessarily normalized in the world outside of when I'm with you?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So when you show intimacy, like what type of intimacy do you show? Do you show it all, or like is there a specific one that you show? Like when you show mental intimacy, how do you show that?
When I hear that question, it's like, do I leave? When I get in the mirror in the morning, like, hey, yo, when you leave the crib today, nigga, you know you gotta step out with that mental intimacy. You feel me? That's not the case. I'm just me. And so then you gotta identify with whether this nigga is striking he's mind fucking the shit out of me. Or nah, is it something else? I just show up as myself, and then you gotta make that decision. And I think in you deciding that is where we figure out if there's some level of compatibility between the two of us. But every day I'm leaving the crib as Josh Waters, and it's like, you know, fuck it, with the cards are far where they may, type thing.
Okay. So I've been in a situation before where I was talking to this guy, and he was doing everything. Like, he cooked me dinner, he did all of that, but never did he ever try to like sexually come on to me.
Okay.
And so for me, that was a little confusing because I'm like, damn, he ain't even trying to like, you know, go there with me. So like, what is it?
You know what? I'm definitely the dude that I would make you feel the same way, because I have enough female friends that I've never physically involved myself with that have been in experiences and situations where it's like, one day you came home and said, that nigga tried me, with that tone. And then it's like, that nigga tried me. So it's like, I'm confused. You wanted it from him and didn't want it from him. I just play it safe. So until we can have a conversation and just be straight, consent is a real thing. I don't play them type of game. I ain't touching you. Look, what's cracking? We doing this shit or we not?
Yeah, but
So
you say you playing it safe though, but like.
Well, when I say play it safe, I just mean like, I'm not going, some people like, let me touch her leg to see if she move a little bit, then I know I got her.
Yeah.
I ain't one of them. I'm just like, however we get to the objective of this conversation, you interested in having sex? I might not say it that way, but it's gonna be so clear cut.
It's gonna be obvious,
We
right.
both know what the fuck we doing here tonight. It's not gonna be no like weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I think that's again subjective.
I just didn't know. I was a little confused by it because I'm like, is it a game? Is they trying to play a game? Like, shoot, if I don't put myself out there like that, like I want to have sex with her, she gonna be thinking like, why this man don't want to have sex with me? So she gonna be ready and eager to send pictures and all type of stuff.
Well, if you sending pictures to my phone, it's pretty obvious what type of time you on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying if y'all have been talking for a while and you ain't made no move, and you leaving the woman curious, she like, when can we get started?
So let's talk about this. What's your preference? How do you like a man to deal with you? Because I think that's what it boils down to. I think this is your answer, and then she may have a totally different one as far as how she would want a man to, you dig what I'm saying? So it's like, let's talk about that.
How do I like a man to deal with me? Well, first of all, how I like a man to deal with me, I like for him to be 100% honest. I feel like honesty is the key to everything. If we can communicate and be honest, we going somewhere.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we can do that, there's levels.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that I'm gonna settle.
Yeah.
But if you can be honest with me, let's have a talk.
Respect.
What you want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
I like it. I like that.
That's how I am.
Yeah, I with me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really, it's so fucking simple.
Nah, for sure.
All you gotta do is communicate.
Yeah. I think it's easiest. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, okay, I was just asking, right? I've heard a couple of men say that women can't take honesty. So it's like, what level of honesty do we really expect from the initial, you know?
I would rather you be 100% honest with me, whether it hurt me regardless or not, because I'm gonna respect you 100 times more. I'm gonna feel like I can talk to you about some shit, and I can make myself more vulnerable to you if you just be real with me. I don't like dishonesty. It don't matter if it hurts or not. Sometimes the truth hurts.
That is true. No.
And you need to hear it.
Like, I feel that 1000%.
Shit, gangsta.
Like, I self-discover a lot, right? And I noticed that, like, for me, I'm all into honesty, right? But I think for me, it depends on what it is that I'm expecting them to be honest about. So for me, if a man came up here and told me, like, yeah, I'm dealing with about 5 different women, I ain't gonna lie to that. I'm like, man, I respect him. We're gonna be good friends, you know, but
Right.
I would never.
But exactly, that don't mean that I'm gonna go there with him.
That's
but
what you were talking about with
I
standard.
respect you. We can be friends.
Yeah.
If I decide to go there with you, that's my choice.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at you because you told me up front I'm dealing with 6 different girls.
Yep.
If I put myself in that situation, then I know what's coming after it. You know what I'm saying?
So
Respect. Respect. I had something, but it's cool. That was good.
No, let it out.
I think, I think, let's say this for guys. Every nigga that say, I want this that Jody shit off a Baby Boy.
it's gotta be.
Yvette, I lie to you because I love you. It's like, nigga, that's kept.
Okay.
The reason why we lie to women is because of fear. Whether that be fear of losing the relationship I got with you, losing how I have this with you. Don't allow people to like justify a lie.
Okay.
Truth is the only motherfucking law.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can't establish a level of honesty, I can't be involved with you. And let's not make this a nigga thing, because y'all lie too, right? Women are full of shit too, just like us. So before I get on my niggas, right, I gotta say that I deal with enough of y'all to be able to be like, y'all ain't shit in the same regard.
What's the most common thing a woman lies about?
That's a very, I don't know.
It's subjective.
I can't
it's
say.
subjective, y'all.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
What do they lie about?
Talking about women? First of all, if you got on makeup, it's like, who are you with that off? That's a, you know what I'm saying? Let's start with that. So it's like that question can get super deep for me.
Let me say this, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're right. We do be lying.
All right, y'all come out the house with a lie. Take that damn makeup off. Let me see what's really going on.
But you know what? I think it gets to a point in life. I think it gets to a point
being real.
in life where, you know, lying is just not permittable. So like for me, like I remember growing up or whatever, not growing up like in high school or anything, but like after high school while I'm dating, if a guy asked me like, am I talking to other people? I'd be like, what is talking? No, I'm not talking to nobody, because I'm thinking like it's deeply involved.
I see.
But now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, okay, prime example, the last guy, I promise you, the last guy I was talking to, he was like, are you interested in other people? I said, no, I'm not interested in other people, but I'll be lying if I say that a lot of men don't do stuff with me, and I don't compromise myself for that.
Yeah.
You know, and he was just like, I swear, he was like in complete shock. He was quiet for a while. I said, tell me how you feel, you know, tell me how you feel. And so he said, well, I've never, you know, I usually deal with women who really go through that, but I've never had a woman straight up say it. And what I learned was, it don't matter, I get further being direct than I get from being nice and lying, you know? it's the craziest thing in the world. So it's just like I get further, I get more, everything, and I just be like, I don't really, I'm not willing to do X, Y, and Z, and they like, let me prove to her that I can get her to do X, Y, and Z.
Because at that point, now I know exactly what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you honest with me about it, I get it's like playing spades, right? You know how to play spades? The nigga come around the table, everybody getting 13. Bing, 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 bing. And the objective is, I hope me and you across the table, we got this shit. But if I don't, I still gotta play the game.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like when you keep it a bean with me, I get to make a conscious decision for myself and say, this is a pursuit that I can like put myself in. This is a situation I can involve myself in and make sense of how I'm gonna get it. But when you start out lying, it makes it a little more difficult for me to.
Very difficult.
Truth resonate, bro. That's all. Intuition just means somebody lied to you. That's the pinging in your being. It's like something didn't resonate with what I am, because you are. Not to take it all the way deep. I see you got a lot of questions here. I'm dropping the mic after this. If we made in the image of God, then right. I believe in God. God is love. Love is unconditional acceptance.
Absolutely.
If we made in God's image, truth gonna resonate with you.
Hello.
That's why when a nigga telling the truth, it hit you right here.
Yep.
That's why when a nigga lying, you like, something just went
Ain't
right about
right.
that shit. You hear me? So
You can feel
it's
it.
like,
You know what?
yeah. So
I want to add on to that, right? Even in the same situation where I was like a lot clear, I ain't gonna lie, I be clear, It's like I feel like in me being clear, I allowed an open door for him to be more honest, but it made him a lot more because it's almost
fear.
like,
Fear. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm saying he started lying because he was afraid of something. For him to tell you, I ain't never had nobody tell me that fucked him up. Because I'm used to people lying and then I make my moves based on a lie that they told me.
Right.
And because I know you lied to me, that lie resonated with my being, I ain't really gotta be honest with you.
But when that have an open door in his mind, like, well, she can tell me some of the hardest things. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't easy to say it out loud.
If that's really what he wanted. Sometimes people say they want shit until it slap their ass in the face and it's like,
That's the one.
I thought that's what I wanted. However, this requires more from me than I'm ready to do. So I'm gonna keep doing the bare minimum with the folks that don't require as much as you do.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
I just got my closure. I've been looking for closure all this time.
Hey, shout out, snaps and no claps.
So I want to know, have you ever been in a situation where someone mentally stimulated you, but they sexually couldn't stimulate you?
No.
So they had both.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yes, but only one time though. That has only been one time. What you say? Yeah, what about you? Have you ever been
I'm
stimulated
gonna be honest.
in that fashion?
You know, when you're younger, you really don't think about sex the way that you think about it when you're older. Like, when you're younger, the main thing that you think about is you having sex and a nigga getting a nut. That's it. You don't think about yourself. You don't think about none of that. But the older you get, you think about yourself. You think about that other person, and it makes things better. It makes it easier. You connect better with the person. So I have experienced that before, where you are mentally stimulated by somebody, but sexually not. You know what I'm saying? That's just, if you're younger, if you literally sit back and think about it, I'm pretty sure you probably have too. If you really literally think about it.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect, for sure.
Respect, y'all.
How y'all feeling out there tonight? I feel like we just chitter-chattering up here and...
Is it sounding good?
Is it sounding good? How y'all feeling? So we about to get into it. So, I told myself every podcast episode that I have, I'm gonna ask the guests, do y'all want to keep it mild or do y'all want to keep it spicy?
I'm with all of the shits. This is your thing. You heard me? So it's like we here.
is.
We here. I drove all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We with the shits tonight. We with it.
I love me some spice. I love me some spice, baby. So this is where the spice come in at.
Talk to me.
We talking about physical intimacy.
Okay.
That's where the spice come in at. What gets you going?
What gets me going? Physically touching me, right?
Right.
Man, I like my balls to be played with.
Oh, you're talking about literally.
Like, we jump right into it, right? Like, first of all, we grown as fuck. So if you're not performing oral sex, you're a child, right? So because that part's already in my mind, that's what get me, bro.
Yeah.
Grab me by, yeah, like don't play with it. Fuck it, we here now, right?
Yeah.
That's what get me.
So that's the main thing for you.
Man,
Grab them all.
look, if she know how to handle them joints, because you got to be gentle with them, right?
Right.
This is something you have to be delicate with, right? If she knows she's doing, you have to be delicate with them. So it's like first sign of how you gonna handle me as a whole person. It starts with how you take care of my balls.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
This is crazy. It's a little spicy.
What about you?
Conversation, I swear. I swear.
But we talking about physical though.
We're talking about physical.
We passed that. We passed all that shit. We talking about the physical.
What?
Is it me licking on your neck? Is it me grabbing your
What
watch?
is it
What
that
is it?
gets you going? You can plead the
It's
fifth.
it's the grabbing for the kiss for me.
The grabbing
like,
kiss.
the aggressive, passionate grabbing for the kiss with the hands in my hair and the back of my neck. You
Okay.
know? Because it feels like, wow, you might love me for real, even if it's not that deep.
I like it.
So when you're being intimate, are there any limitations for you? Like, is there something that you absolutely do not want your woman to do?
I do not play around with the dookie shooter. Okay.
So I asked him, is there any limitations when you're having sex with someone and you're being intimate with someone? Are there any limitations?
The dookie shooter for me, it's off. I can actually deal with that, but you gotta paint that picture. You can't put nothing inside. You just keep it all outside on the canvas type of thing. But yeah, just no butt play for me.
So is there such thing as being too freaky? Like, have you ever been like, yeah, this is a little bit too much?
I've never been in that experience, but I have been asked like, yo, can I bring handcuffs and shit? I'm like, I'm from Mississippi, okay? Hell no, you can't bring no handcuffs to my house. It's traumatizing. No, you cannot. But I don't like to be tied up. I'm not with none of that shit. But outside of that, nah, nothing's too freaky for me because it's about, I need you comfortable. I need you vulnerable. So it's like I'll come to your world as long as it doesn't require me to compromise certain parts of myself that I'm just not going for. I'm with it. I'm with all that shit. Whatever.
But I feel like when it comes to limitations, if you really rocking with somebody like that, ain't no limits, baby.
I don't know.
Whatever goes, goes. That's how I feel. I'm just being real.
I can see why men would have limits though.
Yeah.
I'm saying there are ways that you can make a man feel uncomfortable.
Like I got a
Especially that
homegirl who got a box for her dudes.
A box?
She got a box for her dudes. She plugs her guys. Respect. Now, I don't know who all gonna see this interview. I'm not judging people that's into that type of shit. However, I'm just not. Right? But, so in that regard, it's like, no. What are we doing? There's a limit for sure. You can't insert nothing.
Well, no, we're not talking about that for me.
But that's what I'm saying. But you get what I'm saying? I think it's levels for different people.
Exactly. When you rocking with somebody, you automatically know off the top. There's levels. I'm not finna do nothing in your booty hole. You
There
know
we
what
go.
I'm saying?
She from Mississippi.
I'm not finna do that. That's just, I'm not finna make you feel uncomfortable or do nothing that's out of your reach.
I live in Atlanta, man.
If you connected with somebody, you gonna know that off top.
Yes, ma'am.
You do live in Atlanta.
Your shit get crazy. I hear things out there, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully. So again, I'm not judging anybody who's into that type of shit. We at home and we not.
Yeah.
We at home. We homegrown, cornbread fed, baby. We ain't with none of that down. We ain't with none of that.
So outside of that, as long as we can take that off the table, there are no limits.
Absolutely.
So the same question that you asked us goes for you. What are you into? How do you want your guy to grab you? Do you want me to? What you want your guy to do?
Well, let me tell you something. It's levels.
Talk about it.
For me, it's levels. I'm not gonna put it all out on the table because at the end of the day, I'm a woman. You know.
I like that.
But I feel like when you know, you know.
Respect.
When I walk in the room, you gonna know what you need to do.
Understood.
Absolutely. It ain't no explaining. You gonna know what to do. I ain't even gotta tell you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Shout out to Auntie over there. She like, yeah. Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So do y'all have any questions for us? I'd like to take out this time to like give the open floor to the audience to ask questions. If y'all have any questions in regards to anything about intimacy,
Come
we
on,
here. Okay, what's up?
What do y'all look for in a partner?
What do we look for in a partner? I'm gonna be honest. What I look for in a partner, I don't look for perfect. I look for real.
Okay.
As long as you can be honest with me, we can go very far. Cause I know ain't nobody perfect. But if we, chopping it up, and I can ask you something and you can be specifically 100% real with me, I don't ask for nothing else. Everything else gonna flow for me. What about y'all?
Safety. Like I have to feel, I don't know, I have to feel secure. I realized that about myself recently. So it's like, whenever I've been involved with anybody that I didn't feel safe around, I really didn't feel safe around them. Like it was nothing that I could do. Like my earrings off, no, I'm gonna keep them on, for real. But when I feel safe, it's like, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. I feel like, just in case, like I'm not like a snappy person, but if I feel like I can snap on somebody and you have my back, then I feel like it's up from here. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna snap on nobody. But I think for me it's safety. For sure.
I really like your answer a whole lot, right?
Why?
So why do I like your answer? Because I like to think, although this is like the Feelz podcast, we talking about sex and shit, like that's what I start with. I try to it go back to like the whole my mom's thing, you heard me? Like I'm going to make sure like we good, you good type of thing, so that we can enter those other spaces. And so here's a vulnerable moment for me. I would actually answer the same thing. I got like abandonment issues, right? So before I get too deep into a space with you, I have to know respectfully, because I do this to a certain degree, it's options, right? I'm always aware of the fact that I ain't really gotta do this shit if I don't want to. That's not my ego speaking, that's like man, I'm young. We don't have to, being in a relationship for me is a luxury. It's not a requirement right now. So if I'm in that shit, it's like, I need to feel safe enough to feel like I can be exactly who it is that God called me to be for you. And that's why I was saying about like women creating that space for men too, because niggas be capping, niggas be lying, niggas full of shit. You feel me? Like, but at the same time, it's like, so I need to feel safe enough. I could be this to anybody. I need to feel safe with knowing that you're the person I'm supposed to dump this shit into.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I agree with her. Yeah.
I like that. That was a very good answer. For sure.
It's a recent discovery,
It
If you asked me
is.
this last year, I probably wouldn't have said that.
I have a question for you. You do have a single out called Gelato.
Hey.
Okay? And so I love music. I listen to the lyrics.
I heard the vocals earlier, by the way.
I got a little something. I listen to the lyrics, and this is what I got from it.
Talk to me.
She letting other niggas get in.
Come on, man. Shame.
You fucked up.
Me or her?
She did. Ain't no coming back.
Blew it.
We done.
Big.
Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, you're right. You're right. So man, like for those of y'all who don't know, I'm an R&B singer-songwriter originally from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, by way of Atlanta, Georgia, man. Gelato was me like meeting niggas where they at, type shit. It's like, all right, I make R&B music, but this what y'all want to hear, the 808s and shit, fuck it, I'll meet y'all there. It's still a heartbreak song, you feel me?
Yeah, I definitely.
If I can be frank, here we go. We'll tell the truth on this podcast. This song was originally for another artist.
Okay.
Right? I was a part of the writing process and all this shit. I'm signed to a production label, so sometimes my company, we create records for other artists that are signed to entities. And at the time, this particular artist that was there, they were dealing with a heartbreak, and so was I. I also got a song called Cyclone.
I've listened to it.
Same story, different music, you know what I'm saying? So at the time, bro, because I still was dealing with that, when that artist didn't gravitate towards that record, I was just like, I'll lace it, type of thing. But it aligned with my narrative and what it is that I'm talking to people about, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we got gelato. Yeah.
I love it. The
Respect.
beat,
Nah, thank
the
you.
beat, the lyrics, I can relate.
Respect.
You fucked up. Ain't no coming back.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever cheated on a nigga?
I have never cheated on anybody that I've dated.
Have you ever, she over here like, damn, he coming to me.
Damn.
Have you ever cheated on somebody?
I thought we was waiting for Najeea to answer the question.
I can't relate.
Ask the question. Have I?
Yeah.
I have.
What led you to cheating?
Because like, you ain't gonna just play me.
So was it because they did you something and then it was like the get back type of thing? Have you ever cheated on someone first?
No.
Respect.
Yeah, because I don't play that.
Have you ever cheated on somebody?
Yeah, 100%. I typically cheat on everybody actually.
What made you want to cheat though?
To be real, just getting in situations prematurely, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's a big ass booty on your back.
Well,
And
yeah.
so now we in this relationship, 90 days done passed and I realized the honeymoon phase is over. Josh, what did you get yourself into? So, but aside from that, yes, I typically cheat on most women and it's because, hear me out, I'm just being honest.
Okay, I'm listening. We keeping it real.
What happens is I usually get in situations prematurely. And so my last relationship, I'm about 1.5 years, 2 years removed from that, and I made a promise to myself to not get involved with somebody else until I was serious enough to know that this is what I was doing, because now I'm too grown. 21, 22-year-old me, it's cool, fuck it is what it is. But it's like, bro, I can't be playing with people out here, man. So
Absolutely
I'm
not.
not a cheater anymore. I'm a recovering whore.
Yes. We are proud of you, Josh.
I have my reasonings. I think mine was really about like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I really talked to myself in order to even do it. I was like, do you love him? Yeah. Like, is you gonna leave him? Nah. But is you gonna be stupid? No. So it was more like that. So it was just like, forget it. Like, I'ma just, this was when I was younger though. But as I got older, I feel like, okay, I'm big on commitment. So I feel like for me to for me to get in a space where I make a conscious commitment that, hey, I'm with you and you with me, why would I go into a space where I break my own commitment to my own self, And I think that's why, like, now in these times where I'm really, really particular, like, I seriously would be dating somebody and tell them I'm not ready for a relationship. And they ain't got nothing to do with dating other people. It's just that I need to see how serious you are about your own self. Because honestly, you'll know a tree by the fruit it bears, right? And I'm real big on that. Like, that's why I was asking you earlier about manipulation. Yeah. I truly feel like you got certain special people who can truly manipulate you. But for me, I'm such a take my time person that it's like, I look at the little things and I immediately turn it into a big thing. Like, the last person I was talking to, he lied a lot. And I called it every single time, right? And I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because I knew him at some point, So it's just like, do you know why you lie? So then I gave him an opportunity to be honest. And I was like, just be real. Like, I'm giving you a chance, just be real. Because I saw what I saw and he still lied. And how I saw that for me is, okay, you lied in my face. I saw what I saw. So that means that small thing is going to turn to a big thing later and it's going to hurt me. So, in that space, I was able to leave. But either way it goes, it's just like, cheating for me is not permissible because at this point we're adults. And I'm assuming with us being adults, we're dating dope people. Oh, go ahead.
No, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I wanted to add something to the end of it. So were you done?
Practically.
Nah, get it all out.
No, I'm pretty much done.
Okay, yes ma'am, respect. I feel like there are different types of cheating, too.
It is.
Yeah.
You can cheat on somebody by like actually physically cheating on them. You can cheat on somebody by texting somebody. You ain't got no business texting.
Yeah.
It's so many ways you can cheat on somebody.
It's intentional cheating.
To go back to mine, mine is typically like, I was in this city, one thing led to another, I'm sorry, type of thing, which doesn't excuse it. This is not me excusing the fact that I was totally wrong in every circumstance and instance. However, I say the last situation, right? The person wasn't down to stay and work it out. But me cheating and that shit hitting the fan was the thing that I needed to know, like, I'm tweaking. I don't even really want to do this for real.
Right.
Because it wasn't an emotional cheat. They even understood it as like, I know you was just out doing some shit. One thing led to another, but at the same time, disrespect is not you know what I'm saying, acceptable, but they wouldn't have left. They made that extremely clear. I was just like, you know what, though? I think for the right person, I wouldn't even put them in these type of situations and positions. So I fucked with them enough. I love this person enough to say, what it is that you want from me, desire from me, you actually deserve it. You're just not gonna get it here, not right now. And that doesn't say anything about you as a person. I thought she was tremendous, man. It let me realize I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So I think, again, it's different types of cheating.
So when do you think you're gonna be ready though? How do you know when you're ready?
Man, you know
never
what?
know when you're ready if
I'm
you don't
ready
do
now.
it.
I'm ready now.
You ready now?
I'm ready now.
As a start, how long you been doing music?
10 years.
Okay, well.
I'm ready
never
now.
mind.
It's like, bro, realistically, what I realize about my career is so many women out here, they all, you know, it shit come how I do, respectfully. But at the same time, man, purpose is a big thing for me. So it's like, once those nights are over, what did I gain?
Yeah.
What does this shit equate? You know what I'm saying? And if the answer to that is not something productive or progressive for my life or for whatever life I say I want as a man, then this is counterproductive. I'm wasting my time and yours. It just ain't it, you know what I mean? So, and I think, like I was saying earlier, if I'm B100 with you, I know women that are down with certain things. If I'm honest with you, I don't have to risk losing this and breaking your heart and all these things, man. So it's just a matter of, when I'm done doing my job, I want to be able to come home to something that fulfills me. You feel me? And so,
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, wow, that's very mature of you.
Respect.
No, really.
I got a 6-year-old son, so like I've been a pop since I was
you grew up
19.
fast.
Yeah, I grew up quick as a motherfucker, you hear me?
Okay.
So it's like,
Okay, that makes sense.
you understand?
No, it really makes
Yeah, it
sense.
is.
And then also on top of that, you've been in music for like 10 years.
Come
and
on,
like,
for sure.
I'm involved, like, I have connections in the music industry, so I'm kind of like, and it's crazy because I probably really would have never said this like 3 years ago, seriously, but my personal opinion is, if you're a man, like, I don't think you should jump into relationships before you like 26 or 30, how I really feel.
Respect.
But especially from me communicating with certain people in the music industry,
Yeah.
if like you pop off tomorrow, right, and you get
It all changes. Like
Yeah.
just the levels of, I ain't made it yet. Like I'm still in pursuit. I'm gonna start. We drove down this mother, ain't fly, but it's like, even with the level that I'm on now, I get faced with so much shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I see niggas' girlfriends acting the way at my show.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So it's like, that low key,
Nah, it's
that
serious.
fucked with me. That fucked with me. It's like,
Yeah.
I've seen so many women that's on Instagram portraying one thing in their relationship, but it's like, when I say yeah, or when my partners say what's cracking, it's like I see the energy shift. And so that had me like, well, damn.
That's so messed up though.
You know, it is, but it's the narrative of the niggas to y'all. But I'm just saying this to say, like, women, first of all, y'all much more slicker than we are.
I mean,
Slicker. So women is like, everything niggas think we doing and getting away with, y'all be like, yeah, nigga, okay. Girl, let me, you feel me? Like, can't slick a can of oil. That's why the analogy of dogs and cats is what it is. You drop a cat out the window, she gonna land on her feet every time. That's y'all. Us, we gon' like, man, fuck it, it is what it is type of thing. It's a pretentious, we capping, bruh. We got emotions just like y'all, bruh. So it's like,
I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that.
I make R&B music. I sing for the niggas who can't say shit for themselves. So it's like, I know what's up, bro. So, yeah.
it really does provide, like, okay, well, yeah, I'm a painter, so I don't do music at all, but like the connections that I have,
Yeah.
it's crazy because it does provide, for me, it has provided me a whole different perspective, which is probably why I don't really be in such a rush to have a relationship, or if a man be like, I want to be with you, and it's like, no. You know what I'm saying? It's because, like, in my own experience and what I've seen on the outside, it kind of get me in a space where it's like, let's just be cool. Let me allow you to be who you're going to be. And I promise you, when I said that earlier, it's like accepting the person, being real, being honest. I get more from it because it's like, I'm not trying to control you. Because most of the time in my own past experience, I can say that now reflecting back, I was trying to control. You know, it was like I was trying to get what I wanted out of the agenda. The agenda is really like, I want to be in a relationship. I really want to be with you. And the whole time they probably wasn't ready to do that because of the space they was in mentally. And so that's why the question I asked was what it was, because it's like, I see a whole different thing now than I would have seen 5 years ago. So it's like, that's, you know, it's just so interesting when I am around certain people and I have conversation with like friends or people on the outside and they talk about like, I'm dating this guy, I really want a relationship, and it's just like, just chill. Like, it's so different because I feel like in my experience, somebody's gonna like the other person more than the other sometimes.
Absolutely. Somebody always gonna like the other person more than the other person.
Yep.
That's just the way life is.
Yeah.
And then when the other person like the person more than the other person, the other person become comfortable, then the other person just fall back and everything just fall to shore. Like, you know, it kind of just make you question like, what is love really, to be honest? Because people switch up every day. You never know how somebody gonna feel tomorrow. They might feel a whole different way. Like, how can you trust it?
Well, so about love, right? That go back, this is just my opinion. I won't speak like my opinions are truth. These is generalized statements. I won't throw that shit out there. I think God is love though.
Absolutely.
And love is unconditional acceptance. So if you leading with that level of discernment, it's like, beyond what a nigga could tell you, they actions gonna say everything.
Yes.
So it's like if your actions not lining up with what's coming out of your mouth, the second I continue to allow you to perpetuate that, I'm a volunteer, not a victim for whatever type of bullshit you on. You feel me? So it's like, I think, I hope that kind of answers it, right? It's like love is easy, bro. It's
Absolutely.
And
it's easy in the, thank you.
It's a
so not
reflection.
easy, it's work, but it's easier to deal with versus something that ain't that, you feel me? So it's like, I think most times people find themselves getting into relationships to fill voids.
Yes.
That's first.
I agree.
So to be single means, in my opinion, to be single means to be whole and complete.
And to
When
be
you
real.
come to me, I'm coming to your ass whole and complete. If you're not whole and complete, then we can't make a thing. Two whole and complete units come together and make one, not two. But if there's voids that you're using me to fill, the second I don't do that, that creates room for disappointment. Now we having an argument that actually don't have shit to do with me. It's about something that you didn't heal from before you got into this space. And you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we find ourselves in relationships and shit prematurely, and then we make the nigga or the woman responsible for what I didn't deal with before doing this shit with you. So
Let me insert this too, because I'm sorry if I'm taking off you. But no, like, let me insert this. Like, when I went through my single process, you know, most of the time you be like, you know, the reason people don't really enjoy the single process is because their perspective of it is I'm alone, instead of looking at it like I'm with myself. Because you always gonna be with somebody, whether yourself or somebody else. So I feel like if you exude in the space where you perfect loving yourself, and it's not easy when you realize the flaws that you have, and you are forced to like really look at that and try to like correct that or whatnot. You really see yourself when it comes to the dating world or whatnot. But I feel like in being alone, when you constantly I'm big on self-discovery. So in every situation, I try to learn something every single time that I can implement in my life going forward, whether that's business, relationships, or my relationship with my mama or whatnot, because I'm always constantly seeking to be a better person. And I feel like most of the time when I am involved with somebody, if I can really see them. It's the craziest thing, because it's like it's esoteric science. It's like a knowledge of a small group of people where you really truly look at a person and you can see them, especially when they don't know themselves. So you can kind of like project this is going to be a disappointing situation because they don't know themselves. When you love yourself, the first thing you do is tell yourself the truth. That's why lying is like not permittable for real, because if you're 34 years old and you lie to me, you haven't gotten to a space where you value the truth, you know, because truth says I respect you. You know, no matter how deep it is. If I'ma do it, then I should be proud to say, yeah, I did it. Because I did it. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm sorry, I'm going off in the deep
that's good shit
No,
though.
that's real good.
But yeah, so to your question earlier, like, you know, what gets it for me, this is why I said that conversation really gets me there. It's like, it's so beyond physical for me. It's like, you have to get me there mentally. So I would like to have these type of conversations. Right. So it's like, wow, he's dreaming. You know what I'm saying? Because he uses his mind.
Right.
X, Y, and Z, that's it.
Respect.
Okay. Well, y'all, I really fuck with this episode for sure. I really feel like everybody was pretty vocal about everything, you know. I love it. So this is all the Feelz again. We'll be back again next month. We'll have another guest for sure. But I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. So everybody get y'all some drinks and let's just vibe.
Wait, it's over?
It's over.
This is so good. This is so good. It's lit.
I have a question. How did you become a celebrity artist, painter?
Oh.
I was like, what?
Oh, we still coming.
Okay. Honestly, this is gonna be the craziest thing. I seriously tithe. I tithe a lot. And because I realized that whatever you put out in the world, you get back. And like, ever since I can remember as a child, I'm gonna be nice and say it. Ever since I can remember when I was 10 years old, when I was going crazy over little kids and stuff like that. Like, I just knew I was going to be connected to celebrities. I just didn't know how, you know? And so that's the beautiful thing about a journey. A journey is not something where it's just like, oh, I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. A journey is just going with the flow every single day. But you have to know where you're gonna be at the end of the tunnel. Whether you know how you're gonna get there or not, you just have to know. It's literally a knowing. I don't know how to explain that. It's like, sometimes I wake up in the morning and you just know you're gonna wake up in the morning, you know, which is, you know, in God's eyes, like arrogant or whatever, but you know it. So I think that the way I became like a celebrity artist, I tithe a lot. And in tithing, I didn't expect anything. I had a few, I'll be honest with you, like I told you, I've given away a lot of free paintings, a lot of it, but the thing was I wasn't really there to get the money from the celebrities, because they will pay me. And I've had a few celebrities offer to pay me in front of everybody, and I turned it down in front of, because that's not important to me. What's important to me is relationships. And my granddaddy always taught me that in order to, what he say, when you come before kings and queens, serve. And that is tithing, you know what I'm saying? So don't, and I read somewhere, okay, y'all gotta get this book called The Abundance Book. I promise you, it's life-changing, seriously. The Abundance Book by John Roberts. It may not be Roberts, but I know his name is John. It's a very small book that fit into your little pocketbook. But instead of looking at tithing like, oh, I tithe to the church, look at tithing like sharing. You get some money, you get 10%, and be like, oh, here, to your friends. It could be your friends, like, here, go get you some lunch today. That everything you do is tithing, whether you give a good word, whether you give money, whether you lend a helping hand, everything is tithing. So I'm saying all that to say, that's the best way for me to answer that question. And I seriously, in my connections, I talk to people, you know, celebrities a lot, they say the same thing. They may not say tithing, but they just share their gift. That's just it. So, and your gift is anything that you do better than anybody else around you. All right.
I like that, girl. I like that, for sure.
Thank you.
Well, I surely appreciate
Wow,
it.
I didn't stutter.
I love it. I'm here for it. But like I said, I really do appreciate y'all coming out, vibing with me. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a vibe. And so I hope to see y'all in the next episode.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram though.
Yes, follow her on Instagram.
Look, I was supposed to bring a painting.
Yes, she was supposed to bring a painting, and she was supposed to paint a picture of what intimacy meant to her. And she left the painting at home, y'all.
It's in Birmingham.
Oh, my Instagram is a.nichel. Nichel.
She is so talented, y'all. So talented.
I need that. I was just about to say, I need that. She lives
I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over, girl.
Girl, do your thing. Listen, this is why I did this, for people to put themselves out there like that. I feel like it's room for everybody to win. A lot of people didn't know who she was before she walked through this door. A lot of people didn't know who he was. So this just like open opportunity for everybody to get to know new artists. This man might be on the Billboard next year. Yeah. She might be in a room. You walk in, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's room for everybody.
Time Magazine, New York.
You know what I'm saying? It's room for everybody to win.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I feel like in my art now, because like I'm now taking my own experiences and putting it in art. But since we're here, I have some good news. I don't think I shared it with you today. I may have shared a little bit. But y'all, my art just got accepted to be in the auction for Waco, which is Beyonce's mom. Yeah. So this will be my second time working with her, and I'm so excited. I just found out today.
That's tight.
Okay. I love it, sis. I love it. Okay. A shot to that, baby. I love it. I love it. What she said? I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But yeah, I want you to drop that gelato. Y'all, this is his hit, gelato. It's a vibe. When I tell y'all, this man is talented too, as well as her. He a vibe.
Mine is Josh Waters Music.
For sure.
Yep.
Check him out, y'all.
I'll follow you back. Josh Waters Music.
I fuck with it. I love it.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate you. Hey, this shit is incredible, bro.
That sounds great.
For sure. Yeah, man.